The gods fought so darkness could give us a break, which creates an interesting new year. I've already learned a lot of where I am. Apparently, this is the long dark. A New Year's Eve-like holiday, but it lasts for a week. So the sun will come back in a day or two, I hope. Welcome everyone to a deep dive on Serebelle. Today I was looking into one of the reports from our favorite logger. He had a wonderful chance to experience the long dark. It's a winter holiday with wonderful, long, rich history that I've loved since I was a child. Today, I wanted to share the long dark with you all the best I can, and that's by talking about it. The long dark is a point where the darkness of night gives the daylight a break for about 5 days in the nation Raito, the home of godlike spirits and those who follow. When the daylight rests during this time, we do too. We take this time for all to rest, reflect, and plan out the new year. The story of how the holiday originated started over 100 years ago. The god of night, darkness, and rest, and the god of day, sunlight, and productivity were at the point where the honeymoon phase has faded from their relationship. The god of sunlight, Aether, started to presume the worst of her wife, the god of night, Gehenna. Gehenna would show up late to the changes of night and day, progressively more and more and seemingly distracted. Thus, Aether had to work harder and longer. One time, her wife never showed up for over a day, creating sunlight for over 24 hours. After that, Aether had enough of the situation. She followed Gehenna after sundown to see what she was doing, creating an eclipse in the sky. She expected to see the god of night to be partying, drinking, or even with another, but it wasn't what she expected. Gehenna was in the garden of an old Lux, up in a great large tree, deep asleep. Sleeping so deeply, you would worry if she was even alive. Anger bubbled up in Aether, upset at the concept of her lover sleeping while she had to work so much more to make up for this laziness. Aether shook her wife awake and accused Gehenna of laziness and of not loving her anymore. The two argued for 4 nights, leaving the lands in an eclipse of dark. They argued, talked about their differences and how to help each other. Then on the 5th day, where they came to a decision. To make up for hurting her wife, Gehenna agreed that every year on the anniversary of this fight, she will take over for 5 days so that her love, the sun, may rest. The fight had occurred between the two had them realize a balance needed to occur. A time to rest from the hustle and bustle of work. That night became a time to reflect on our past year and how we could do better for others and ourselves. So from that point on, their followers did the same and the long dark came to be. The traditions of the holiday have evolved but still stay true to its core. The most common traditions go night by night. The first night, establishments close early, and people watch as the dark covers the sky. Once the dark completely takes over, most places go into a blanket of silence and most civilians go to sleep early. Night 2 consists of reflection. People try to write last entries of the year in planners, journals, and such, whatever system they prefer. Those who do meditation typically start on this day and continue throughout the festivities. By night 3, when the stars are brightest and the moonlight reflects on the ice rings of Serebelle, dimly lit markets pop up and shopping starts. Stalls with warm food litter the streets, and things like stationery, new items to plan and start the new year are customary to see for purchase, most celebrators buying them for loved ones in their life. The night 4, it is customary to give offerings to the gods Aether and Gehenna, with starfruit being the most popular to provide, as it is believed to be the holy couple's favorite. People usually lay out starfruit in the morning, head to the local temple to worship, and write a goal they want to accomplish, and leave it at the temple to be read by the gods. Then, by what would be the evening, burning the previous year's writing is practiced by some people, whether it's bonfires with friends and family or alone. I, for one, am too bonded at looking at the previous year's every long dark. And for the 5th and final night, people gift the things they bought on the night 3 to each other. Some even gifting handmade one-of-a-kind notebooks to those who they have close bonds with. The rest of the night is spent with your cherished ones and share your goals, write up your plans, and sleep early enough to wake up to see Aether bring the sun back to the skies, as she does, marking the new year. Before moving on, if you like this holiday, come discuss it at the official Serebelle Discord server. I have questions going on in the general chat to spark talks about the latest video. So if you want to discuss lore or how you would celebrate the Long Dark, come join us at the link in the description below. You know, going back to the first day of the Long Dark, I didn't mention much, so let's go back to the day when Gehenna brings darkness to us. People say she starts with bringing the darkness as she walks through the country. The darkness lays across the sky like a thick blanket of velvet. Then below the skies, she consumes any light she sees, from bonfires to lanterns to you. If you want any light for the Long Dark, you must turn all lights off and go to sleep early. And if you don't, she may consume a part of your shining soul too, taking a part of your personal shine. Though it's never been confirmed if she does, as this was told to misbehaving kids as a way to get them to go to bed early, instead of staying up late. Because often than not, daring your friends to go out on the first night to try to see her was more common than concerned parents would want. Though I do wonder if it's true. If she does take a bit of you, or if anyone has even seen her. She is one of the most elusive spirits to see, as she is considered one of the major spirits of Raito, letting her visuals shift and morph to the tale spoken about her. Even in the folktale I shared early of her and Aether, I've had mixed descriptions of what they look like. Examples include being described as a fox and rabbit, that they look like people who worship them, and even ethereal manifestations of darkness and sunlight. I like to believe people have seen Gehenna and Aether in any of those forms, walking through the land and streets of Raito, still being happily in love like they were before the fight that caused our Long Dark, since because of them, I got to experience one of the holidays I truly enjoy. So, what would you do if you saw gods roaming your streets? Let me know in the comments below, and have a great day.